Hello, Fredak here. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, it is finally Tuesday, April the 22nd. Yesterday I was in the future when I posted. I thought it was Tuesday. What do I know? It's either daytime or nighttime. Looks like it's daytime now. Am I that sure of it? I feel the sun, but I'd like to thank you all for being here. It is about 11 a.m. East Coast time, Tuesday, April the 22nd. XRP at about $2.14. Just looked about a minute ago. Alrighty, a lot of stuff to cover. Fredak has notes. A couple small little things jotted down that I'd like to share with all of you. And if I haven't said it already, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Numerous postings are going out there. I'm trying to add more knowledge is power. Knowledge about tipping and other different things that I come across on a daily basis. I was chatting with a friend of mine who really didn't understand that TIPS is an acronym. TIPS, just posted it maybe an hour ago. Once again, this is not financial advice. None of my postings are, just the ideas swirling around in Fredak's head. Garbage in, garbage out if it doesn't make any sense to you. If there's something good, sense, S-E-N-S-E or C-N-T-S, hopefully a little bit of both. If nothing else, it's like entertainment. I should have been a stand-up comedian. That's pretty funny in itself. Alrighty, but I'd like to thank you all for being here today, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Knowledge is power. I don't have a huge following, but small following of hopefully future multimillionaires. I do believe it's going to happen. Let's delve into these notes here. What have we got? The scammers. I try to start each of my posts off for all of you to be worried about the scammers. Now, technology is not my niche. I predate the beeper. I don't know clicking on this or that, where that sends you to, what rabbit hole. My thought is just avoid it all. You don't know who the heck it is. Don't click on the email. Don't bite on the hype. Everybody's offering you the flying carpet to the moon for free. The old axiom from Mama and Grandmama, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Alrighty, so we're going to have numerous posts going on out there. I'm starting off here with, imagine buying $10 bills in the United States for $2.14. That's possibly what's going on, and maybe it's not. You've got to do your homework. Don't just listen to Fredak. Check things out. I've been known to be wrong. Nah, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Part of the humor, the shtick. Alrighty, so, like I say, down the road, people look back and they say, wow, there were $100 bills for $2.09, 14 cents. You could purchase these things. People are going to say, you missed the boat. Sherman, set the Wayback Machine. Sure, Mr. Peabody. Where are we going? We're going into the future. 10 years from now, 2035. By that point there, people might be saying, wow, we had the opportunity to buy $100 bills for $2.14. Man, what a time you had. 10, 15, 20 years from now, you may very well get that type of looking over the shoulder and those saying, wow, my life could have been so different. Oh, what I could have done. When it comes to opportunities, they don't just come along every day. No, they don't. Okay. And then people would probably say, wow, I wish I'd stumbled onto Fredak. If I listened to that Fredak, I might have actually gotten my hands in on some of this. But they might not be old enough to do it. If you're only 4, 5, 6 years old, you haven't even been born yet. 20, 25 years from now, I mean, who wouldn't like to have bought a couple acres of land in downtown Los Angeles 70, 80 years ago? And still own a small piece of it. That's generational wealth being generated. Probably redundant. Whatever. So the point that I'm making here is that, hello, opportunity strikes. And you just never know when it's just raining money. And the thought is, when it's raining money and you're scooping up a lot of that money, wow, I could just do this forever. Nah, it doesn't last forever. The rain stops, the money dries up, and the party is over. And you say, wow, I should have done that 20 hours a day and slept for 4. But the thought process, human nature, is to think that, well, this will go on forever. Hello, it won't go on forever. Alrighty, what do we got here? But I do want to say that I'm glad to have you all on. A small group of you that have subscribed. And I think it always takes time, but I don't think it's going to take all that much time. But think about this. Let's just say XRP becomes the one. If when. I use if, but I think it's when. When it surges to, let's say, $200, $300, $400, $500, $800 for each one of them. And you're all welcome to do a little bit of homework on this. And I'm deviating away a little bit, but from what I understand of it, each of the XRP coins, tokens, whatever they are, have the ability to be broken up into 1 million drops. The little blip that I had looked at some time ago in the past was that XRP is designed to be $10,000 US dollars per coin, per token, whatever they're called. If you really think about it, step outside the box. What would it take for this thing to surge? Well, it's got a huge amount of them. I have my opinion that the vast majority of all these crypto things are all just a lot of fluff, scratch-off lottery tickets, people hoping for the next Ethereum, going to make some quick monies, and that's great. It's great when it works out. But are they the real deal? When I look at the totality of the circumstances, everything points to XRP being the real deal. So if something is going to evolve in the blockchain world that is going to be structured to be the movement of not just trillions, quadrillions of dollars, tremendous amounts of wealth globally. And again, like I've said in past postings, what gives everything its value? We all do. We give it the value. Why does it have a value of any kind? Because we create that value. So would it be that impossible to create an XRP value up to $3,000 each, $10,000 each? Not at all. At a certain point, hopefully, the U.S. government will realize the importance of having a certain amount of stability to whatever it is that evolves to be the global currency of the world. The idea was floated with the euro some 35 years ago that will unite all these different, but it was somewhat unfair. Germany had a stronger GDP. They were the backbone of the euro. And still the thought is that someday a currency that's universal, worldwide, will evolve. The movements of money are so archaic. So archaic. 2.5, 3 days to send money to somebody, the fees that you have to pay. But of course, the old regime wants to keep it just that way. Why would we want to change it? That's why I think XRP was targeting from the word go. Everybody out there said, well, this is bad news. We can't let this happen. Now, over time, I think it's starting to be realized that something is going to give. And the big money is like, we might as well get on board with it. We might as well make a lot of money from it. Usually how it works. That is why ETFs are starting to evolve, and they're going to happen. Why are ETFs going to happen? From Franklin Templeton, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, whoever. because they can make monies from it. And I have given my opinion on here that trying to short-term trade the crypto world, it's a tough world. I haven't noticed any strong variables that you could line up on your side mentally to feel confident that if I buy this right now, in 5 or 10 minutes, in 2 hours, it's going to be a lot higher. I have not seen any of that, but if somebody sees that out there, whether it's a short-term trade of just a few moments, a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, or it's a little bit longer, a couple of days, or if it's a week, 2 weeks, and you're just going to ride the waves, it all sounds pretty good. Alrighty, what other ideas do we have floating around in our head? Alrighty, something about the big money in the weather. So with the ETFs, if the big money out there could create some way to generate profit from predicting the weather in an hour from now, in a day or two from now, which I guess that does exist on corn and wheat, other different agricultural items, commodities, depending on the weather, supply and demand. So naturally, if across the U.S. plains there's a huge storm and it's destroying the corn crop or the strawberries or whatever, they're going to surge in price because the speculators are going to be buying them and selling them. And I have extrapolated a little bit on the speculators. Speculators in the last 12 years, everybody wanted to buy and flip it. I'll buy and flip it. Now I think it's about to come home to roost. The speculators that bought year ago, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, year and a half ago, there's a lot of canaries in the coal mines. And as I've said on here in the beginning, hopefully there's going to be numerous posts. I just posted something about TIPS, acronym TIPS. Could be pretty good stuff. And I'm sure all of you know all these things. Yeah, we all know everything, right? Like Bullwinkle, Mr. Know-It-All. Alrighty, enough of all that. So, my thinking on the big picture is that I hear chitter chatter and I watch some of the talking heads, and they all tell you what you want to hear. XLM is going to 5,000, XRP is going to 5 million. This one's going to do this and that one's going to do that. That's all great. Fantastic. I hope it does it for all of you. Whatever scratch-off lottery ticket you're playing. But to me, the reality is big money has spoken. Back in early November, when they surged this thing over $2, over $3, and naturally it's backed off a little bit. It's going to be a natural thing, but there's not that much in volume. The volume is light. Where is the volume? I'm not sure if the small people are in this as big as I wish that they were. I wish they were all on board. I know I'm on board. I know some of you are on board. And when this runs, it's going to be life-changing. If when. But the big money has already kind of tipped its hand. It hasn't tipped its hand on some of the other popular things. I haven't seen any tipping of the hands. Hello, that tells me something. Smart money follows smart money. That's a good axiom. I don't see it happening on some of the other ones. I don't see it happening on any of the other ones. And also someone did comment, and I thank you for the comment, that there's a large short interest. With a large short interest, that means it's going to be big money. You and I aren't going to be able to short this thing. You've got to have capital in your account to short stuff, and a decent amount, because if you're at the potential for something to spike, whoever is managing your account, brokerage firm, whatever entity it is, they are not going to be on the hook for nothing. Let's just say you have $100,000 in your trading account and they let you short XRP at $2.14. Well, guess what? If it starts to surge and it goes on a mad run and it's $4, $5, $6, it's spiking. They are going to liquidate you the moment that your capital runs out. You don't have unlimited capital. And that's how the big money tends to get in trouble, when they're over leveraged. And that might have been what happened with the GME and AMC maybe 4 or 5 years ago. There was a huge short position, and my gut feeling, it's just my opinion, is that they had a tap, 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 hello, I need a big favor. Do not make an announcement that no one can short this. You cannot buy it. You cannot buy and you cannot short it. You can only sell it. Well, guess what? Whatever big entity found out about that information going to be coming out, you know it's going to have a really negative impact on the masses. The price is going to drop like a rock, and there's going to be tremendous volatility. Did anyone ever look into who might have capitalized on that? I don't think they did. And it doesn't play over well when you find out that the biggest bookmaker in town, like Caesar's Palace out in Las Vegas, they're reneging on the bets. What? Doesn't look good for the big picture, because you want the game to continue. Alrighty, once again, like I say, FredAct tries to bring stuff that you don't hear from all the other talking heads. I'm trying to think outside the box. Any comments that you might have, please leave them below. I'll tell them below, above, whatever, like, don't like, whatever you got to do. Me personally, I think the idea is to be in these things for the long-term run. Why? Because if XRP starts to swoon and let's say it runs to 27, 67, 87, whatever 7, it's going to have waves up and waves down. And the more waves you get, the more everybody come on board. Everybody wants to be a speculator. Hey, what the heck? If you find out you're losing your house because of the mortgage, you're 3 payments behind, and there's this thing that's swooning 20% in a matter of moments or days or whatever, hey, get a hold of some money, and why make the mortgage payment? Take that $15,000 and roll the dice. Go with XRP or go with LMN or whatever it is. You're going to lose the house anyway. They're all going to come on board. And then, as always, the big money out there, they will run the herd right off the side of a cliff. That's you and me. Everyday Joe Schmoes that go to work 9 to 5. But okay, with all that being said, may all your days be winning ones. Subscribe, likes, comments are great, love it all. May all your days be winning ones. Thanks for stopping by.